Worldwide, 1.6 million people have been infected by the Wuhan virus. More than 101,000 have been killed. In the United States, almost 500,000 have been infected. 18,000 more have died. Dr. Deborah Birx today echoed some of the president's optimism that better times are indeed ahead.
What also has been encouraging for those of you who are watching epidemic curves every day, and you can see for the first time that in the United States we're starting to level on the logarithmic phase like Italy did about a week ago. And so this gives us great heart that not only in specific places, but we're starting to see that change.
And Dr. Birx adding quickly that while there are many encouraging signs, that certainly does not mean the United States has yet reached its peak. That is still expected to hit this Easter Sunday. But as the curve begins to flatten and the death toll projections decline, there's been much discussion about when the U.S. economy will reopen. President Trump announcing today he will unveil a new task force next Tuesday to advise him on when to reopen the nation. It's a decision he calls the biggest of his presidency, and one that he won't make until he can assure the safety of all Americans.
We're going to go back to work, and we're going to stay healthy. And staying healthy is also a proportion. If you look at what we're doing, we're looking at a date. We hope we're going to be able to fulfill a certain date, but we're not doing anything until we know that this country is going to be healthy. We don't want to go back and start doing it over again. The facts are going to determine what I do, but we do want to get the country open. So important.
And in order to assure that safety of the American people, Vice President Mike Pence says most major communities must be, as he put it, at the end of their outbreaks. The country should have widespread testing available as well as therapeutics and guidance from the Centers for Disease Control on just how large and small business can return to operations and operate safely. Our first guest tonight is a member of the president's coronavirus task force. He's predicted the economy will reopen in 4 to 8 weeks. Joining us tonight, National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow. Larry, great to have you with us. The president, the Corona Task Force today, showing optimism even as all of us are sobered by the losses the country is taking as a result of the Wuhan virus. Your thoughts about how will the president balance the safety of the American people, which he assures, and ending this fight victorious against that virus?
Well, Lou, first of all, thanks for having me back on. Look, I think what the president said today is exactly what he's been telling folks internally. The decision to reopen the economy will be made on the basis of the numbers. It'll be data-driven. And as Deborah said and others have said, the numbers are coming in better. And I guess I'll stay with my 4 to 8 week estimate. That's a combination of hope and prayer, but the numbers are improving. And we have to be very careful. This has been a terrible period. A lot of people are suffering health and economic hardship. So health and safety comes first. But I know inside a lot of people share the president's view. We'd love to get this economy open as soon as possible. And that will be driven by the numbers, as it always is.
And those numbers now are sobering. They're grave. We are looking at some terrible tragedies for so many Americans. The necessity, the urgency of returning the country to business, people to work, and to restore normalcy. I find it interesting that a number of WAGs, and some of them in the medical community, the scientific community, some sort of professional pundits, talking about we'll never have the same normal. I think that this has been a period throughout this entire presidency, going on 3.5 years of it. This has been a new normal anyway. It seems like, though, that prosperity is something we all want to restore and sustain.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not the health expert, but there's no question, Lou, on the one hand, certain mitigation best practices are going to be observed for a long time. All right. I mean, washing your hands, getting tested. Testing is going to be very, very important. Taking your temperature, those kinds of things. It reminds me of 9/11. Afterwards, we put up metal detectors in airports. People thought that might be temporary. It turned out to be permanent. So a lot of things are going to change in the aftermath of this virus. That's for sure. On the other hand, let me just make a point, speaking for myself. I know the president agrees.
Sure.
We had tremendous prosperity before this virus took hold. The tax cuts and deregulation and energy and better trade deals and so forth. We've had very strong prosperity. So the numbers coming in on the economy are perfectly dreadful right now, and they're going to continue that way. I think of it as a kind of pandemic contraction, if you will. We are suffering through that, and we'll get to our rescue package in a moment. We're trying to ameliorate that. But I think, Lou, when it's all said and done, this is temporary, and the virus will be defeated, and America will go back to work. That's the point I want to make. This is an incentive-driven economy with terrific pro-growth reforms, and America will go back to work. And I think people want to get out of the house if they can, as long as they feel confident it's safe. And we want them to, and we want them to spend money, and we want them to, go back to work on the assembly lines and in the office buildings. It's just a question of when we get a green light from good numbers. But America will go back to work, Lou. You know that, and I know that, too.
I do. I have every confidence in this president, his national economic director, and the entire administration. And I think that these polls that we're looking at show that most of America feels exactly the same way. We're also seeing some really, I think, great positives, and I want to take a minute to talk about a number of them. One of them is, and it's not a minor item, is that we don't have a nation, it's clear, of daffodils, and buttercups that the left seems intent on speaking to. I don't think they exist in nearly enough numbers to ever move toward what the left is proposing in this election year. I also think it's fascinating that we are seeing a performance this week that is the strongest performance by the markets in the face of the pandemic, in the face of an aggressive Chinese disinformation campaign. Against all odds, we watched the best market performance in this week in 44 years. Did that surprise you?
Well, yes, it did. I'm happily surprised. On the other hand, I think the market is picking up a couple of key points, Lou. One of them is that the pandemic numbers, the coronavirus numbers, are improving. And I think the market trades off that. A second point is I think the market has liked our rescue package in conjunction with what the Federal Reserve is doing. The Fed has set out more lending facilities. I just want to read the Small Business Assistance Program, the Payroll Protection Program. We're now at 661,000 loans approved, Lou. Listen to this, $168 billion. $168 billion have been approved by this government guarantee. As long as you keep your payroll intact, you'll be forgiven for the loan. Those are enormous numbers. That's one reason, by the way, our estimates are we're going to run out of money for the small business thing April 17th. That's why we would like the Congress to help us with an additional $250 billion. And finally, let me just say, on the rescue package, we will be reaching 175 million Americans. 175 million Americans. Cash and liquidity. We want to get through this period. That's an extraordinary number.
Those direct payments to the working men and women in this country, when do they hit their accounts? When?
The unemployment assistance is out now. The direct loans, the economic impact assistance, the direct loans will be out next week. And Lou, the small business loans, the actual cash flow is coming out now, yesterday and today as we speak. Skeptics aside, it's a gargantuan achievement, and we just want to help people to get through what hopefully will be the last few weeks of this problem. Now, last point I want to make. President Trump, in this emergency, has done something that really no other administration administration has done. He is using the private sector to help him, to assist him, whether it's testing, whether it's medicines and therapies, whether it's retailers, whether it's biotech, whether it's private banks. This is a joint partnership of public and private, and the private sector, Lou, is coming through. It just shows you the strength of America. So once we get this reopening, we will go back to work and we will restore prosperity.
Well, that is a message that's critically important for all of us to hear in the country, Larry. I want to turn to China very quickly. It is clear that they are committed to a disinformation campaign, the likes of which we haven't seen, not by the Russians, not previously by the Chinese. And now it's really important to see the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in the face of this direct aggressive threat in the form of this disinformation campaign and all of the pain and suffering and loss of life that has been the result of a virus that originated in China. It is time for the business community and Wall Street to line up with this president and let no daylight be between them and this president as he moves forward here against so many threats and so many challenges. Do you agree?
I do agree, Lou. I think it's a great sentiment, and I thank you for it. And let me give you one. This is a Kudlow economic policy thought. We want as many American companies to come back home. So one way to do that is 100% immediate expensing. Reform the tax code. 100%, Lou, immediate expensing. Plant, equipment, IP, structures, renovations. In effect, immediate 100% expensing would pay the moving costs for American companies to come back home. Think of it. And that's one very constructive way. And while we're at it, let's help the companies that stayed here in America with immediate expensing also. To me, that's the best way out of this dilemma.
Yeah, I think the idea of incentivizing the decoupling of those who've offshored production and their businesses to China in particular, that's a wonderful idea, Larry, and my compliments to you. And of course, retaining American business in this country, as you say, absolutely essential. Larry Kudlow, always good to talk with you, my friend.
Thank you,
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to see you.